Did you see the news? Beauty Bakerie was just acquired. Let's talk about it. By the way, I'm KJ Miller. I talk about all things business, beauty, and pop culture. If you like any of that, be sure to subscribe. Now let's get into it. So what's the tea? Beauty Bakerie was acquired. It was announced this week by Westlane, which is the same parent company that acquired my brand, Mented Cosmetics. So they are officially now in our portfolio of brands, the blooming brands. And it was also announced in the article that I am going to be running Beauty Bakerie along with Mented Cosmetics. So now your girl has two jobs, okay? All right, KJ, keep a job Miller. That's what they call me. What I wanted to do in this video is answer a few questions that I've gotten from a couple people as this news has come out. Just, some FAQs, if you will. Question number one, why am I running this brand and not Cashmere, the founder? That is by far the question that I've gotten the most. And I will never dare to speak for Cashmere, who, can absolutely speak for herself. I will just repeat what she has shared publicly and also shared with me in the many conversations that I've had with her, which is Cashmere was planning before this acquisition happened to take a step back from Beauty Bakerie and to take a step back from the daily operations of running a brand that she's been running now for over a decade. And she's done such a beautiful job. She's built such a beautiful brand. I am wearing the Beauty Bakerie Cranberry Stiletto Lip Whip, which I love. She's done such a beautiful job. It's such an amazing brand. But she's been doing it for over a decade and really wanted to take time to focus on her faith, her family, and other pursuits, which I have so much respect for and completely understand, okay? It is not easy running these businesses, y'all. So that was always her plan, even before the acquisition came to be. Once the acquisition came to be, and we were getting close to closing on the deal, I had the conversation with her to say, like, hey, look, if you are feeling differently, changing your mind, if you think actually now you do want to continue like operating the business, let's have that conversation, right? Nothing's off the table. But this is very clearly where she was. So I just want that to be clear. Like, if Cashmere wanted to be running this business, she'd be running it, okay? Because she knows it inside and out. She built it from nothing. She built such a beautiful, enduring brand, right? But in her decision to want to take a step back from, the day-to-day operations, it was important that we brought in, and by we, I mean the Westlane team brought in someone who really understood the brand, someone who has so much respect for the brand, and someone who understands the customer. I happen to check those boxes. So I'm so excited to be now running both Mented and Beauty Bakerie. The brands are so different, but I do think what we share is a commitment to being customer first and customer led. And really understanding the consumer is something that I consider myself to be pretty good at. So that's the answer to question number one. The second question I've gotten, this one more has been from like friends and family, like, how are you going to run both of these businesses, right? Like, running Mented in and of itself is a lot of work. And let me just be clear, that is true, okay? Running Mented is a lot of work. So running Beauty Bakerie will also be a lot of work and has already been a lot of work just getting it to this point, getting the deal closed, getting the site back up and running. We are shipping now again for all of you Beauty Bakerie fanatics. Yes, you too can get your lip whips. You too can get your vacation. Let me get that a little closer, honey. Your vacation. You too can get your flower. Let me get that closer, honey. All of it is back. Okay. And just getting to that point where we're up and running and everything else, even that has been work. So yes, it is a lot of work, but this is what I will say and what I do firmly believe. So much of running a brand, any brand, beauty brand, whatever, so much of being at the helm really is about operations, right? Making sure that every team is doing what needs to be done such that the end product to the customer is getting there correctly, efficiently, effectively. So much of that's so much of what my job is. And because I've become really strong at operations as a result of running Mented for the last 7.5 years, bringing another brand under my belt, it's not as if all of a sudden now I'm doubling my work, right? Because a lot of the systems that I put into place for Mented, I am able to recreate and put into place for Beauty Bakery. Same with my teams, right? The marketing team, the ops team. Same with the teams. They have the systems to sort of run the trains, and now we're running 2 trains. So it's not a doubling of work. I would say maybe it's like, instead of, I'm not 2xing, maybe I'm like 1.5xing. So it is more work. There's no doubt about that. But it's not complete, like I'm doubling everything on my plate, because that would be too much. Like, there are only so many hours in a day. Like, I got to sleep, I got to eat, I got to take care of my kid. But because I've gotten pretty good at operating, right, and operationalizing the business, there are some things that I can kind of just like, I don't want to say copy paste. The brands are obviously different, but from an operations standpoint, that I can pretty easily stand up because I've got the systems in place to do that. So anyway, I won't get into too much detail, trade secrets, blah, blah, blah. But suffice it to say, I feel pretty confident in my ability to do this. If it all falls apart, you'll hear it here first, okay? I'll just come back and say, guys, I was wrong. I can't do both, but I'm pretty sure I can. Okay, the third question I've gotten, and I've gotten a lot of these questions, and I would say the top brass at Westlane has gotten far more of them, is around what other acquisitions we are doing. There's always interest, there's always buzz whenever a company is acquired, like, oh, are you going to acquire more? Like, what's going to happen? Are there going to be more brands in the portfolio? And my answer to that is going to be super unsatisfying, which is, I cannot speak to that. Okay? That's above my pay grade. I don't make those final decisions. I am often asked for my input when deals are being considered, particularly in the cosmetic space, like in the beauty space, just because I've been in this space for so long. But that's above my pay grade. So, and also just in general, and this is just a rule that is true for any company that does acquisitions, you really can't talk about acquisitions when they're sort of in process or under review. Everybody signs an NDA, okay? Everybody, your mom, your brother, your dad, your dog, everyone's on the NDA, okay? So if you're being considered for an acquisition, your brand is being considered, you can't talk about it. But also typically the other side, the company that is considering acquiring you, signs an NDA and says, we're not going to, go out and tell everyone that you're thinking about selling your business. We're not going to share these numbers that you're sharing with us, so on and so forth. So literally nobody can talk about anything. Okay. It's all very hush hush. So I know that's an unsatisfying answer. It's not because I'm trying to gatekeep or I don't want to spill the tea. It's because truly not my place. Okay. But I will say, if more acquisitions are coming, like if we close more deals, you'll hear about them. Okay, there's always a press release. But yeah, I cannot talk about that. And then the final question I've been asked a lot, and I was asked this a lot when Mented was acquired, is what's going to happen to the brand and what's going to happen to the products? Are they going to change? And I just want to make it very clear, the same way I made it very clear for Mented, no. Okay, the products are staying the same. We're working with the same vendors, the same manufacturers. We are not changing our product formulations. Everything is staying the same. Everything that you've come to love about Beauty Bakery, you will still be able to love about Beauty Bakery. Okay, that's our commitment. That's Westlane's commitment. That's my commitment. So I just want to make that very, very clear. I feel so blessed that I get to be at the helm of another brand I admire and respect and cherish so much, and a brand that has meant so much to so many thousands of people, not just in America, because Beauty Bakery's international business was actually quite big, much bigger than Mented's. Mented only ever started selling in the UK and Canada, and that part of our business was like fairly small. When we got acquired, I do know that we are looking to expand beyond that, but at the time of us being acquired, it was quite small. Beauty Bakery did a nice sized business internationally. So there are customers all over the world who love this brand. And I'm so excited to be at the helm and for so many people to get to continue loving this brand and loving these products. So anyway, I just wanted to share all of that with you, give you the update straight from my mouth. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's been acquired. Yes, I'm running the brand. And yes, I'm extremely excited about it. So anyway, that's it for today, folks. I hope you loved this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time.